always got to remember to go on the Facebook page and make the feed live now or public because for some reason
it's not doing it.
But with that being said, good evening, everyone. You are tuned into the last episode of Access Granted for 2022, and it's crazy because we haven't been on for 2 weeks, and then we're going to do one show, and then we're going to be off for 3 weeks. But that's what we do.
That's how we roll.
Your boy, Mr. Antoine, is in the building, fresh off a birthday weekend.
Happy birthday!
Let me tell you, 53 feels great. Shout out to everyone that showed some love, whether it was, just saying happy birthday on social media or, my wife, as she always does, throws a surprise up on me. And so I had a house full of folks for the Ravens game yesterday that I wasn't expecting.
Nice, very nice.
Yeah, just great time. She knows that it doesn't take much for me, when it comes to the birthdays and stuff. So had a great time. Family and friends, that's all I need. That's really all I need.
Good, 53, man. So what was the major lesson that you learned for your year of 52? You learned
access granted.
No, you're supposed to drop a nugget, something.
You know what? Honestly, that's actually a great question, and it's actually kind of a twofold thing because I'm still learning at this age that you're never too old to fulfill your dreams. Mm-hmm. And then at the same time, I look at some of the people that I personally lost and some of the people that we lost. Mm-hmm. And it's that moment of don't take that day for granted. Don't take tomorrow for granted.
Yeah.
When you have something that you want to do stop bluffing, stop making excuses, and go out and do it. And with that being said, perfect segue. Bam!
Wow, look at her. Or is it a her or a him? What should I be calling?
This is us.
Look at you.
The signature Long Islands are.
Oh, wow. It's even packaged. Y'all, that's not hot sauce.
This is not hot sauce. Wait a minute. This is not your grandmother's hot sauce. This is the official Dirty Half and Half signature Long Island. Shout out to my sister Queen Fiend, Tipsy Fiend. On this part, you got to call her Tipsy Fiend. She and I have been working on this for a few months now. Mm-hmm.
Well, how's he being surprised, y'all, with his own packaging?
Because she just handed me the box and she said, so she always says, sip slow, which you must do with this. And then I don't know if this is like a surprise to me or if this is just the regular, this is happy birthday. Thank you, sis. That's a birthday card from my partner in crime. Nice. And I ain't gonna pull all of them out, but it's a bag full of Hershey Kisses.
Very nice.
So I got kisses, but yes, they are official. These went on sale last week. Nice. This size bottle right here is $30. And then we have an actual 2-gallon bottle that's $80. And I didn't realize how much liquor or how much liquid you could put in a 2-gallon bottle.
Right.
2 gallons of this for $80 is freaking amazing because if this was Hennessy and it was 2 gallons, it would be about $300.
Oh Lord, see, I don't know about the dark liquor.
So again, this is the Dirty Half and Half, which is kind of like the Baltimore version of Half and Half because as I said before, when we go to the chicken box store and we get our subs and all of that stuff, what do we always order?
Half and half.
So we had to represent that. And then I don't have the other bottle, but we also have a flavor called Green Light, which is this, but it's a different color. And it's kind of like, I think it's more of like a melon flavor to it. So it's definitely something a little different and distinctive. So yeah,
nice.
I'm excited.
Very nice.
Shout out to my sister. I just posted about her on Facebook a little while ago. But my sister Dina Coleman, she was the one that placed the first official order, and she just picked hers up. And speaking of my partner, Fiend is in the building. What's going on, sis? Thank you. Yes, thank you very much. Thank you very much, and thank you for the Hershey Kisses. I'm gonna try not to eat them all for Wednesday, but that bag is not gonna make it through the week. I promise you that.
She said, "Yep, it's melon."
Yeah, so I'm definitely excited. Not only just to be doing this, but to be doing this with someone who I really respect and appreciate.
Yeah.
My man Maurice Carroll said he want one. I got you, bro. I'll show you how to place the order.
But, yes, y'all.
Absolutely. But shout out to Tipsy Fiend, because honestly, like, it's called Access Granted and all of that kind of stuff, but she's literally the mixologist behind the brand. She's been in the lab working and tweaking and doing a whole lot of things over the past few weeks and months. And I really feel like that the product that we finally have come up with, and this is just the beginning as far as I'm concerned. So, be on the lookout, because
very nice.
We gonna, and the I think the main goal at some point is to be able to go to your local cut rate and liquor stores and all of that kind of stuff, and have these
and get you on. You have what they call them, the shorties.
The miniature, yeah. I'll do some shorties if they sell.
Absolutely. Get some shorties.
Absolutely. Have them sitting right in it. They always have them in a fishbowl looking thing right on top of the counter. So as you're coming there to pay for your stuff, you sit and it's like, oh, give me 3 or 4 of those. Hey, whatever it takes.
That's how some people end up tasting and figuring out, oh, this is what I like.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Shout out to my partner, man, Tipsy Fiend. I love you. I love you. Nice. I love you. Yeah, and that's it. I'm gonna let you tell us what's going on in your world, and then we'll get into the amazing guest that we have tonight. And while you're
I heard y'all.
Y'all cracking this bottle.
Have a sip for me and Maurice, okay? But y'all know where to find me out over on YouTube and at Alenia Renee, and also on Spotify under Juicy Bits and Things, the podcast. So head on over there, doing things. I became, it's interesting how you become monetized on things. Did you just raise your hand? Sip it slow. You already know you. She told you already. She sent you a professional note in regards to it. That's something that you take on a trip, right? Where you can't drive anywhere.
I'm gonna have to sip slow, because if not, you might be doing this interview by yourself.
Well, Maurice already told me he's going to help us along with this. See? She said sip.
Yeah. She got you tongue-tied. You ain't even had none yet.
No. You know what, though? My husband said I'm a lightweight anyway, so I probably am getting the just the the aroma through the camera.
Funny. I'm sorry, Joy Nook Book Club and all that.
No. I was just saying that, head on over to Alenia Renee on YouTube, and also I'm on Spotify with Juicy Bits and Things, the podcast. And I was just saying, it's just interesting how you become monetized on these different platforms that we have, and you just never know when you're going to get that notice saying that you're monetized. So it's just, it's one of those things that I have been fighting over there and trying to hold my own on YouTube, but then I didn't realize that Facebook must be my platform.
Yeah.
I didn't know. So that's just something encouraging for anyone that is watching that has that's on these different platforms.
Right.
Find yourself that 1 or 2 at the most platforms that you can really put your information, your information out there where you have that opportunity to become monetized, get good at it, and be consistent so that you can see those residuals, because you don't want to be doing stuff for free forever.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I got me a nice little nest egg built up on Anchor podcast.
Good.
Salute to everyone that's supported me there.
Very
nice little,
Yeah, something.
But for those that don't know, Anchor is the actual audio platform where we put our shows up after we, do them live here and every place else. So, definitely go and support us there. My mommy is in the building. Hello there, mama. She said, "Welcome to
thank you. I'm popular.
I told you. She asked about you one day last month when you had to miss. Yeah,
I got fans.
Shout out to Denise. She said she got
the yep. It's just where you think that's going to be your place. That might not be your place. You just need to be ready.
And also, I want to welcome in for our first official time our Twitch viewers. We're on Twitch now.
Oh, look at you!
So yeah, just switching it up a little bit, trying to see. Unfortunately, I got the cheap version of StreamYard, so I can only stream on three platforms. I'm gonna see how this goes, and if it goes well on Twitch, then I'll purchase. So right now, we're still on Facebook, but it's just my personal page. It's not the Access Granted page, because my personal page was always getting more views than the Access Granted page anyway. So
there you go. And sometimes you have to do that. A lot of people don't want to deviate like that, but sometimes you have to pivot.
Man, look.
Yeah.
I'm a pivot. I'm a pivot. Pivot till I get it right. Absolutely.
Yeah, no. So it's nothing wrong with that. And I just, like I said, before we end this year, I just want to, everybody's out there on their grind, but I'm encouraging everyone. Those artists that are out there that are your friends, support them. Those podcasts, no, are you going to listen to everything? Are you going to be interested in everything? No, but you can share it. Share it so that people can come in. Yes, it's important, and people don't realize that just hitting that share button helps us as creators so much, and because it gets us in front of other eyes. And just because we're not your cup of tea, right? You might like coffee, and we serving up coffee and not tea, right? But somebody else may
serving up iced tea.
There you go. So I'm just, I just want to encourage people that are watching. Even if it's not your cup of tea, at least just share it. You see it come across your Facebook. It costs nothing to hit share. Costs nothing.
Maurice said you better preach. Unfortunately, he's putting his in the private chat, so I can't share his comments on it.
I just wanted to do that because I did, I noticed that I am getting a lot of love on more of my personal page than my business. So I opted to change my personal to a business.
Okay.
Yes. I'm like, no, I'm playing chess, not checkers. Okay. I'm serious. So that was my encouragement for all of us that are creators, and for those that are out there and you may listen to this, please just hit shares. Yeah.
It's just that simple. It's really literally just that simple, and it's a shame that some people just don't get it. And I feel like when I talk about it, sometimes I'm just preaching to a brick wall. So I just keep my thoughts to myself, and
That's okay. I had to say it. I had to say it.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And speaking of creators, we have an amazing one in the building with us tonight. Had the opportunity to chop it up with his brother quite a few times. We actually just saw each other, was it last week, the week before last, at the Baltimore Crown Awards, of which I won none, but it's okay.
But you were nominated. Remember what you said?
Yes, keep trying to tell people. I don't vote for or I don't nominate myself for any of these award shows.
Mm-hmm.
So when I get nominated, I've already won, in my opinion, because somebody felt enough of what we're doing here to take the time to nominate us for 4 categories.
That's awesome.
That's all I needed.
That's awesome. But remember what I said. I think a lot of people may have went in to vote for you, but because you had to do so much, they probably were like, I don't have time to answer all this.
Yeah, that's somebody said that filling out the ballot for the Crown Awards was almost as bad as the reading the ballot for the elections.
It's what?
Because those election ballots was long this year.
Yeah, I told you. That's why I said, Antoine, if you don't, it's not because people didn't go in. It's just because it was just, I thought it was cumbersome. Whomever, and hopefully they're listening, whoever puts together that ballot, they really need to alter how they do it so that people who are not savvy in that manner and have that time can still vote and be legit. Yeah, it'd be legitimate votes. So,
and shout out to Chenier because she's amazing at what she does, and I truly think that the Crown Awards is one of the best awards, that go on in this area. And I understand the thoroughness that she wants to have in it, but I definitely think that it's a deterrent, for people to have to, go through and look through, an amazing amount of categories. And then, she wanted you to say why you voted for the person and this, that, and third. And I'm like, I don't know. But shout out to my brother George Hutchison checking in. Appreciate you, bro. Let me know when you're ready to order your Access Brand and Signature Long Island Iced Tea, George. I'm expecting you to get at least 5 gallons of her flavor. You know what I mean? And I know he can do it because, George probably can pay for that with the money in his sock right now.
I know that's
right. Moving along though, man. Got to get my brother up here. Like I said, I had a chance to see him for the first time in a long time at the Crown Award. Didn't mean to do that. Sorry.
Uh-oh. Didn't it? He got you right back there.
Oh gosh.
Okay. So you take your time. Do you want me to let him introduce himself?
No, definitely went down the wrong spot though. Jeez. But I was sitting and thinking after we saw each other at the award show, how long it's actually been since I've seen you, and I couldn't think of the last time. It's been that long, bro.
Yeah, man.
It's been. I want to say maybe Baltimore Flavor Radio at Radio on Fire on 25th Street.
Yep. Somewhere back in there. Yep.
Wow.
And I still haven't gotten my macaroni and cheese from you or Janice. But
that's Janice's thing. I'm
trying to blame it on you, bro.
Not mine right here. Not macaroni.
Yeah, man. But what's going on, bro? What's going on, man?
Hey, man. I'm living life as it lives through me. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm doing okay though, man.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure. The times that I've had a chance to chop it up with you, man, it seems like it's always been genuine love from the very beginning.
Absolutely.
You're one of those people that I feel like I've known forever, yet couldn't tell you to this day how we actually met.
I don't know either.
Because you was just there one day, and I was like, okay, that's my man Maurice. And you know what? I met you through Janice because I believe I had Janice on the show first.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken, and then met you through her. And but at any rate, I always tell people, man, when that love feels genuine from the start, that means a lot to me. And that those are those people that it's easy for me to hold on to. Sorry I didn't make the meeting at 4:00. Life was going on, but I still want to talk to you about that. But I wanted to start with you, man. I was looking at your bio earlier, and something that I don't usually do. But there's a line at the end of your homepage where it says Maurice believes that his efforts will make the independent music scene more profitable for everyone involved.
Yes.
And that touched me because I feel like the one thing that I've learned in talking to various people over the time that I've been doing this since 2014, everyone likes the idea of being independent artists because they feel like it gives them their own creative freedom to create as they want to. But I hear a lot of people saying, I'm independent, I've been doing this for X amount of years, and I'm still not making, the kind of money that I want to make from doing this. And I just wanted you to touch a little bit on your thought process, as an independent everything, and what you do, and talk a little bit about what the process would be if someone was able to go the major route, so to speak.
So I'm gonna work backwards. The major route is the independent route. The industry is switching. It's definitely going to the independent artist. So the what used to be the popular thing to do with like getting a record deal or getting a distribution deal and all of that great stuff, that shifted and is now on the independent artist side. The major label, the way that we knew it to be, is fading. It's fading, and the new wave right now is really being the independent artist, growing your own following, and leveraging that however you see fit. So that's the first thing. So with independent artists, really, so what I did, I learned the art of diversification. That's what I learned. And so like a lot of artists that I meet that I've had experience with. So let me say this first, so just so that some people that may not know, I've been in the music industry for 30 some odd years, and I became full time roughly about 20, 22 years ago is when I became a full time music creator. 4 years after I got started, I started looking for a job because I was like, nah, man, I can't do this. I started looking for a 9 to 5. 20 years later, I still ain't found one. So, so, so the way that I did that was the art of diversifying my income as a music creator. A lot of times music creators have an idea of what their career is going to look like and be like and how they're going to get to the money and be doing all of these shows, et cetera, et cetera. I was a victim of that because of the way that media presented the music industry. Is you get in the studio, have some fun, make some music. Next thing you know, you on stage performing, people yelling your name, and then you get money, and then you get all of these endorsements, and you chilling. It doesn't work like that in real life. So what I did, I learned more and more and more and more about the music business. There are a lot of things in the music business that a lot of artists don't know. Like for me, one of the major things is knowing that I can make 2 songs and I'm gonna get paid 4 different ways on those 2 songs each. And a lot of artists don't know where to, everybody know, okay, I'm gonna copyright my music and I gotta join a PRO. Yeah, okay, cool. But what you doing after that? What's the marketing plan? Do you have your music registered in the right places so that you can get all of the license and royalties that you're supposed to get? Are you in position to make the money? Are you teaching anybody else? What's your specialty? Are you like, if you're a singer, are you getting hired to sing on somebody else's record? Like, what's happening? And so diversity was the way that I learned how to survive off of it. And I mean, quite honestly, I've been doing pretty well with it. I've changed my tax bracket a couple of times, so I'm doing okay with it. And it's really knowing how to structure your business when you're in it, to be honest.
Right. One of the things that I like that you said is the diversification and the fact that you you're telling people the reality of it, that it's almost like you either grow up or you grow out. And it sounds like you're growing out. And by growing out, you're allowing yourself to make that money in those diverse areas.
Mm-hmm.
However, one of the questions that I do have from all that you were saying is how receptive are these, other artists, these younger artists that are coming in? Um, how receptive are they to what you were saying? Because I'm sure that's a hard pill for them to swallow when they want the to grow up and have people calling their name.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so it's not even them, it's artists overall. So what the problem
Mm,
is, you don't know what you don't know. And if
right.
you, as a creative, we live in our imagination. That's how we create. It's a
Mhm.
fact, and it's fine.
Yeah.
And we really don't come out of that imagination state until there's a reality check, and however that happens, that's the way that it happens. And so a lot of times artists don't know that you should know the music business, and most artists don't ask questions about the music business until they have to.
Too.
They're faced with a situation where they're like, wait a minute, how do I do this? Oh, wait a minute, who am I supposed to talk to about that? Or, oh, wait a minute, they stole this and what's going on? This is they, what I mean? It's
Mhm.
always after the fact. It's a hard sell to sell an artist, hey, this is what you need to know, so this won't happen down the line. It's hard to sell that when there's a preconceived idea of how you're going to get down the line in the first place. So it's kind of
Mhm.
hard to sell. So it's
Right.
all it doesn't matter the genre, it doesn't matter the age. I've run across
Exactly.
it over these years. It's the same thing.
Right.
I've heard so many stories, man, about how an artist will go and sign that first record deal, and they get that first paycheck from the label or the company,
Mm-hmm.
and they the ongoing joke about hip hop artists was they used to go buy their rap starter kit. They would get a nice chain. They would get a Rolex. They would go buy a Mercedes and this, that, and the third, and then they would go and get this record done in the state of the art technology,
Mm-hmm.
studios,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
all that stuff. And then when it was time to start selling records, they're selling 1 million records, and they might get a check for like $9, and it's like,
Mhm.
yo, where's
Yep.
my money? Not realizing
Yep.
that
They ran it.
all that money that you
They
just spent
ran it.
was supposed to be recouped
Mhm.
by the record company,
Yep.
before you started seeing yours. And I think that's a mistake that a lot of them have made. And I hear a lot of artists say that you really, don't make money selling records. Your money comes through, doing, tours and, merchandising and all of that. And as I'm
Mm-hmm.
sitting here saying this, I'm thinking about TLC and New
Mm-hmm.
Edition. I'm thinking
Mm-hmm.
about them
Mm-hmm.
because those are the two stories that I know well. Like they signed New Edition for what, a scooter and a VCR,
Yep. It was
something
next to
like
nothing.
that.
Yep.
And TLC, they sold like a lot of records, and had to file
Mm-hmm.
bankruptcy soon after
Yep.
because they didn't know that when they were spending $1 million for that Waterfalls video, that money was going to have to
Right.
come back before you started
Right.
seeing anything out of it, man. It's sad. It's really sad. It's almost like you get the impression that the music industry can be blood sucking, but
Mm-hmm.
I also feel like if you took the time to learn, you know, and
Mm-hmm.
talk to people like Maurice and some people that have been around for a while, that you wouldn't make those mistakes. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
That
Well,
is
I
very
think
true.
even with speaking to Maurice, I mean, because it sounds like if it's all artists, I think locally people, they want the big label, the big name, instead of starting someplace a little smaller and gradually growing. That's with anyone. That's just like getting a speaker for an event that you have. You see
Mm-hmm.
someone that might be local. It's a great
Mm-hmm.
speaker, has the crowd engaged, but they would rather have a Juanita Bynum or someone, someone bigger to bring in that crowd, to bring in that money. And it's just like, no, we gotta, we gotta get that bigger name. And I think too, it's not just the artist. Not just the artist. I think it's also the audience as well.
So
That
Baltimore is a difficult city. Baltimore is a very, very difficult city entertainment-wise. So I get that, but on the flip side of that, if you make a name in Baltimore, you can fly anywhere else because nobody is touching the scrutiny that Baltimore gives, which is why when groups or musicians come out of Baltimore, it's over. It's over. The competition is too high. We have the talent here in Baltimore is so high that once if you break, you gone. Period. Because there's nobody else that's going to be touching what you're doing because the talent pool is so high here. Like it doesn't even matter the genre or what you do. If you become the cream of the crop here, it's over. It's over. And so the bad part is that there's always somebody else gunning for where you are, which is where the crabs in the barrel, mentality that Baltimore has. It's like, well, somebody's rising up. Nah, but I'm better than him. So don't worry. Nah, I'm better. And that's where that comes from. The solution, because I'm a firm believer in not talking about the problems and complaining without offering a solution. My solution, what I think is, if somebody is rising, the better thing for us to do here in this city, the best thing for us to do is to push them. And why you push them? You show them support, buy the product, stream it, share, do all of that great stuff, and get them moving, and then push the line forward so it can become your turn versus trying to pull them down and then saying, oh, no, I'm the better one. If you push them out the way, push them and elevate them and support them and, give them everything that they need to go. It brings attention back to Baltimore. Now you have somebody out representing Baltimore. Now who's next? Who's coming out next? And so that's the solution that I see. So I didn't want to be complaining about, how we are without offering some type of solution with it.
But it's a fact. All entertainers right here.
Right.
It's a fact.
Right.
It is a fact.
Right.
And most importantly, don't kill them. Jeez. We've had several artists.
Yeah.
Don't kill them.
Right.
But
stop that.
But I lost my train of thought for a second. What would you say to that artist that is getting a little seasoned in age and has been in this music game, or whatever, as an artist, producer, whatever the case may be, for a long time, and they just haven't reached, that plateau? See, I think the one thing about Alenia and I is that we do this because this is what we love to do. I can honestly say that if I never got to the point of being monetized, I still would do this because it's just like this right here is something that I love. And I always say, especially now that I'm coming down in my basement and doing it and not having to go, travel to a radio station and all that kind of stuff. So I'm good with this. And I just happen to be blessed. We happen to be in position where we're making a little bit of money doing it. But for those people that have, man, I've been, I'm 45 years old. I've been in the game since I was 20. I'm still not signed to a major. The city's still not supporting me, as you just said, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, you can raise your hand, but you've also been blessed enough to the point where you can do this full time. So something has to be going right with you.
Diversified.
So yeah, all of that's true. So to somebody that is older or more seasoned, as you said, been in the game, it's really like going back to the beginning. It's diversifying and also staying up with what the new thing is. You have people that are still on Facebook trying to push their music, and really that ain't where it is, unless that's where your market is. You know what I mean? Because if you're seasoned and your market is there and they're not on Twitter and they're not on TikTok, then cool, stay there. But you have to know numbers data wise, you have to know where your audience is. So you have some people that are on Facebook and their audience is on TikTok, and they're like, well, I don't understand what's happening. You know what I mean? Or you might be going to the Grown and Sexy Club, but your audience is in, where the ratchetness is. You have to know where your audience is. You know what I mean? It's all relevant. And so no matter where you are in the stages, like for example, I can be transparent because that's what my career is. I know I'm supposed to be on TikTok way more heavy than what I am. Way more heavy. I'm using TikTok wrong. I'm showing my food and stuff like that on TikTok. I know I'm supposed to be showing my music. I know I'm supposed to be showing my stories. I know I'm supposed to be editing stuff and promoting what I actually do. Why? Because I know that the generation that's coming up are the ones that need my service. Why is it taking you so long to move over there, Maurice? Because I'm comfortable. And a lot of us get stuck in that part where we get comfortable and we stay in our space where we're like, okay, well, but I'm dope though, so they should be coming to me. Nah, the industry ain't like that no more. Like, you have to pull your own audience because the competition, it's so many people that's pushing their music that way. Why, unless you already have a built-in audience, you have to continually build your audience. It's the continuous thing. And if you don't keep that attention, then it's gonna go to somebody else. So you not got to know two things. One, the data. Where is your audience? And then two, how do they want to be engaged? If you follow that formula, you'll be okay. You can sell a t-shirt, you can sell a sweatshirt, you can get somebody to stream. You know what I mean? You can do things like that. And it's not easy. It's definitely not easy. It's been, and I don't even know how many years it's been where my record label, once upon a time, my record label has been in existence, and I never made merch. I'm sorry, I made merch maybe within my first 3 years, and then I stopped. And people loved the logo, they loved what it meant, they loved the name of the company, everything. I didn't capitalize on it. And I'm saying, I'm showing people the not so glamorous side of what I'm doing, because I don't want to give the misconception that everything is glitz and glamour and everything is exactly how I planned it to be, and I followed everything, I did it right. It's not like that. It's called the music business for a reason, and you learn the do's and the don'ts in business. Sometimes you follow it, sometimes you don't. And really, honestly, going back to what you said, Antoine, like with you said how well you raised your hand, because right now in Baltimore, I know that the majority of the city don't know who I am, and I'm okay with that. But I also know that I've made a comfortable living over the last 2 decades doing it. You know what I mean? So yeah, do they know me? Maybe. If you drop me in DC, don't nobody know me. If you drop me in Virginia, don't nobody know me. But I'm able to make a career behind the curtain. And now it's just here recently that I just started becoming, okay, here it's me. I'm here. Okay, yes, I'm that guy that artist and that artist and that artist and that venue and this event. Yeah, that was me. I'm coming from behind the curtain now. I'm just doing that within the last year and a half. Just doing that. You know what I mean? So it doesn't matter your age. It matters. What matters is, are you following the business? Are you following what is supposed to be happening versus following your emotions and what you think are supposed to be happening?
Got to get out your feelings, y'all, to be profitable.
I say too much. My bad.
No, you did right, because complacency and being comfortable where you are is going to keep you where you are. You point blank and simple. And a lot of times when you always are looking for people to understand what you're doing, when not everyone can understand the vision and what you're supposed to do. Every artist is so different. And if you think that the people that you normally talk to is your audience, you're wrong, because you're always trying to pull from them. Oh, you coming to my show? You coming out to my show? I know my cousin coming down to my show. Your cousin coming to your show and want a discount to get in the door. Want you to buy?
I want to get in free.
Yeah. So I I think too, with that some people do not have the capacity to understand that, hey, I do have to pivot to increase in an area. They just feel like they're supposed to do the same old, and get the same, and get bigger results. And that's impossible. That is impossible.
Being comfortable where you are will keep you where you are.
Exactly.
Claire Dorsey just hit the nail on the head. My.
It will, and we do have some people I know, like, with my family, with me, I know some of them think I am crazy. 52 years old doing what I'm doing. My own child is not even on, TikTok or doing reels or on, YouTube. But I'm like, no, I know I have something to say and people want to hear it. Yeah. I just need to go where my people are.
Exactly.
I need to go where my people are.
Shout out to my cousin Kendra. She was that was the your cousin wants the free stuff,
You gotta leave my Kendra alone. Leave my boo alone.
And it's perfect hearing this from you, Maurice, because when you started talking about the TikTok, bro, I've had an access granted TikTok for over 6 months now, and I think I've posted twice. And I think the reason that I stopped posting on TikTok is because I won't use the word hate. I don't like a lot of what I see on TikTok. And so I just choose not to go on there. But I do realize that it could be beneficial to the brand if I did it some more. So if Alenia wants to, volunteer to be the official TikTok person for Access Granted.
I'm TikToking for Alenia Renee, so I can. Alenia Renee coaching is on TikTok. And get news.
I'll try to get better starting tomorrow, because now it's not just about the show. I have other stuff that, I'm marketing, and it definitely is an opportunity. Maybe the person that does the Instagram for me will volunteer, because I was done doing Instagram for a while too. But anyway,
you gotta go where your people are.
I just don't feel like it.
Music is over on TikTok. Yeah. Music is over on TikTok.
All right.
I gotta shift with you. It's cool. We on the same page. I got you.
You want to be accountability partners, bro, to make sure we post at least once a day?
Something gotta happen.
Something gotta happen, Maurice.
All right. That's the 53-year-old Antoine that's kind of stuck in my ways, and if I don't want to be bothered with something, I just don't want to be bothered with it.
But that could be your 2023 plan. I mean,
here she go.
Oh boy.
If you say I'm gonna start tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
You don't even have a plan. And that's gonna discourage you. Not even having just, okay, I'm gonna at least put something out once a week. Something. You need some kind of plan. You can't just, I need
the church organ real quick. Can I get the church organ so I can back you up?
I'm just saying, y'all. I'm just saying, because I'm big on having a plan when doing something. And it doesn't have to be a huge. Just small increments make huge strides, y'all.
Small. Then she dropped the nuggets like, just come on. All right.
Right.
But shout out to Mahogany Mercer for tuning in. Thank you, sis. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Mahogany. Yep.
Yeah.
Mahogany. I like the name.
So Maurice, man, I've noticed, and I know that you being the humble person that you are, probably doesn't mean a lot to you, but I've noticed a small part of the list of people that you've worked with, man, and you work with a lot of who's who in the industry, man. Talk a little bit about your experiences, having the opportunity to work with like Floacist, who I think has one of the most amazing voices ever in history of voices, you know, and some of the others that you've worked with. I mean, just to run down the list, Michelle Weeks, Michelle Schellers, Floacist, Kevin Powe, Carolyn, Malachi, you know, it goes on. Ruff Endz from Baltimore. Shout out to them. I've been trying to get an interview with them for like 6 years too, but it'll happen.
They my bros, man. I said those my bros. Like, we got a lot going on. So
I'm not afraid of using my connections and my plugs and my
Hey man, gotta make it happen, Yeah, those
we'll talk after the show.
Yeah. Those guys, man, we were in high school together when we started.
Wow.
So that connection goes back there. Yeah, like
that's history.
Yeah, we went way back. They, it's singing it. So once upon a time, all right, here's something that most people don't know. I used to sing. I was the bass guy in the group when we were in Ruff Endz. I was the guy that had the deep voice, and at certain points of the song, this is back when boy bands and stuff were, popping.
Mm-hmm.
I was the guy that would have to come out and do the sexy talking thing. And hey, girl,
so
that was me.
So you were the guy from Boys to Men.
Yeah, that was me. That was me. And then behind the scenes with that, it was like showing some music, like some of the musical structures that, because I was playing keyboard and stuff, and showing them certain things that I knew. But it's in terms of the list, when the Floacist came to Baltimore after, I guess, the breakup of Floetry, she came to Baltimore to work with some spoken word artists. And as the story is told to me, is that they were going around asking, okay, who's the spoken word guy? Who's the person that does that? Blah 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 blah. And she told me, she said literally everybody that she asked about who does spoken word production, everybody said me. So which I was honored, because I knew a couple of guys that that did the same thing. So I was honored that I was chosen, and we worked in the studio. We kicked out every bit. I want to say maybe 15, 16 records, some of which ended up being on the album that she ended up releasing not too long after that. Even with that experience, it was such an intimate experience that I had my son with me. And at that time, he was still in middle school, somewhere in middle school, elementary or middle school, somewhere in there. And, she was like, well, it would be cool if we had this, this, and this. And I was like, well, my son can carry that note. Hey, boy, get in the booth real quick. Sing this. and so, and it was one of those songs that ended up on the project. So he has credit. He had credits before he was even in high school.
Oh,
so,
wow.
Situations like that in the gospel community. I mean, I worked with Jonathan Nelson. I worked with John P. Key. I worked with Todd Tribbett. Twinkie Clark. Who else? Marette Brown Clark. Like, it's a lot of different people that I've met and worked with and had some experiences with. You ran the list, but the way that a lot of those things happen is because I'm a behind the scenes person, and I'm embarking on a new way for me, is being in front of the curtain and being like, hey, I'm the guy, work with me. Remember that song and this one and that's this artist that you like. I'm the person. So now let's work. Traditionally speaking, up until maybe, like I said, maybe like last year or so, I've been behind the curtain, and I've been consistent with my work behind the curtain. I've been my work ethic was untouchable, and that's not a brag. That's it's an acknowledgement. It's an acknowledgement, but it's also to say to be careful with your work ethic, because I missed out on a lot of life because my work ethic was unbelievable, and my work ethic led me into an addiction to work. So I'm saying that, I'm not saying that to glorify, how much work I was putting in and meeting this person and having this opportunity. It's just to say, like how much work does it actually take? It takes a lot of work, and you
Yeah.
have to build a reputation. Back then, when I was building my reputation, social media was really Black Planet and MySpace. So it
Mm.
wasn't a lot of oh, I took it back for a second.
Ooh.
It wasn't a lot of social media. It was
Right.
mostly word of mouth and people saying, hey, oh, you want to do this, you need to talk to this person, here's his number, and then that person showing up and then working. So that's a lot of where my career, how I got the reputation that I got. And once you become consistent and you give the product over and over and it's good, and you
Mm-hmm.
learning and you're collaborating repeatedly over time, your name gets to be a certain thing. And so with that, I'm not saying that I'm big or anything, but yeah, I have worked with a lot of people. Do all of those people always acknowledge me? Nope. And I don't care. I really
Mm-hmm.
don't care, because for me, it's always about the process. It's not about the goal. It's always about the process. It's about
Yeah.
what can I learn? What am I getting? How am I growing? Oh, well, we about to put this album out. We about to put this single out. All right, cool. But what am I getting from now until I get to that point? Because that's what's
Right.
important to me, because that's what I'm going to take with me the rest of my journey. You know what I
Right.
mean? And
Mm-hmm.
so working with Stella Award winners and Grammy winners and nominees and all, that's great. But my mentality has always been, what's the process? What are we learning? What am I
Mm-hmm.
doing? How am I growing?
Right.
And if you stay in that lane, the accolades don't mean much. But even though sometimes it translates into money, don't get me wrong, and sometimes the
Right.
accolades turn into money. But
Mm-hmm.
for me, it was more of what's the experience? How can I be better? What can I grow from? And and keeping the relationships clean, right? Like, not getting too big headed and not being overly starstruck. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's
Right.
some of these people that I've worked with, I've admired their music over the years, but when it came down to business, it was just like, turn that off. All right,
Mm-hmm.
let's work.
Right.
Let's work. How
You
we
actually,
working? What's the
you
deal?
actually just answered a question that I was going to ask, because I imagine, especially when you're meeting, certain people for the first time, even though you're working with them, you're still a fan, and it's kind of that moment where you're in the studio and it's like, I remember hearing Busta Rhymes talk about his studio session with Janet Jackson, and the first thing that
Mm-hmm.
he thought when Janet Jackson walked in the studio was like, yo, that's Penny from Good Times. I'm about to do a song with Penny from Good Times. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And Busta, he wasn't the Busta that he is now, but Busta was already pretty big at that point.
Right.
But there's Busta Rhymes and then there's Janet Jackson. You know what I mean? So
Right.
I was wondering if you would, if you ever had those moments when you walk into the studio with somebody and it's like, that starstruck moment, but you have the ability to turn it off and just get to, the business at hand. And that's
Get to the work. Yep.
Yeah.
Get to the work. Get to the work.
And then when you get home, you go ahead and go, yes, yes, yes.
That's
oh my
funny.
goodness.
So you started out as an artist. Did you ever consider going back to being an artist as far as like the singing and everything, or did you just, once you started this side of what you do, you were comfortable? You didn't want to be the sexy voice in the background and all of that anymore?
Hey, girl.
I never wanted to be that. I never
Injection
wanted to be out front. Yeah. I never wanted to be that guy. I really didn't. I played my position, another part of music business. I played my position because of the process. And those guys, once you get them on, let's speak that. Once you get them on, and if you bring that up, they'll tell you, I was the behind the scenes guy. Here's some chords here. Hey, no, maybe you should sing this harmony note instead. That's who I was. But because if I wasn't on stage singing, certain notes, it just wasn't going to get covered. So, and I didn't want to be on stage. I'm not that guy. I'm not the dancer. I'm not the give me the mic guy. I'm not that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the guy that's behind the curtain say, no, it should be presented like this. It should be sang like this. It should be produced like this. That's where my lane is. So I never wanted to be the artist. Me being behind the curtain was my comfortable spot. And so just as the point that you made, if we can't remain comfortable. So
Can't.
that was me taking that reality was saying, okay, you know what? It's time. I've had several of my clients and my friends tell me, like, why aren't you out front? People need to know you. You're the guy. You're the Puffy. You're the Timbaland. You know you're the person that's supposed to be up front because you're pushing all of these people out and nobody knows who you are. And I'm like, all right, all right. And they were right. They've been right a long time. I was just being stubborn. You know what I mean? I just liked where I was. And the industry shifted so much that it became undeniable. And I really had to say, okay, all right, let me do the photo shoot. Let me do this. Let me do that. Okay, let's get it right. And now
go ahead, Antoine, put it up. Put up photo shoot.
Lord, you talking about the picture? That's actually on the homepage of his website. Hold on, because she wanna play. I'm gonna go ahead and put it up there. That's actually on the homepage of his website. That's that's the sexy pose right there. I'm like, okay, Maurice, do your thing, bro.
You're funny.
Do your thing, bro. So look, I want to I kind of want to go in a different direction now because aside from all of the wonderful stuff that you're doing music wise, I know that you and Janice collectively do some amazing stuff with like this healing and all of this kind of stuff, man, that every time I see, I'm kind of blown away. And I said, once I got you up here, I had to let you talk a little bit about that, man, because that looks like it's almost like the 1A of your passion, with music being one. That looks like it's your 1A. So
it is.
I'm gonna just give you the floor and let you talk about all of that stuff that you guys are doing with the collective, man.
All right. So the name of it's called the Healing Flame Collective. Janice and I founded it, and we have a group of musicians, healers, Reiki masters, and musicians. It's a collective of all of us, and what it is that we both kind of started transitioning while we had our music careers. We both started transitioning and understanding about how healing is necessary and how there's a need for it. Now, Janice's her story is a little bit different than mine, so I'll speak from mine for what happened for me. We both are Reiki masters in different modalities. We both teach, and my journey started with the sound healing aspect of healing, and I learned I was curious as a musician. I was curious to understand why was it that certain chords that I played made people do certain things. Why was it, well, if I play it in this key, I got this reaction. If I play it in this key with this chord, I get this reaction. If I change the tempo here, I get another reaction. So that led me down to understanding. When I started doing it on purpose, I knew something happened. You know what I mean? And then when it got to a point where I was like, okay, well, what do these chords mean? And I started researching that. Then that led me into the rabbit's hole about understanding frequencies. Frequencies made me understand vibration. And then that all of that led me into, oh, well, what does this hertz do? And what does this frequency do? And how do I use that in my music? All right, well, let's do this and let's do that. And one of the members of the Healing Flame Collective, he recently, him and his family just recently moved to Vermont. And he and I have been musical buddies for a long time. And we did this experiment. I created this music and I embedded some frequencies in it. And I said, okay, I want you to tell me what this music is telling you. It's a story, but I want you to tell me what the story is. He said, I'll do one better. I'll write the lyrics in a language that you don't understand, and you tell me what the lyrics say. I said, okay. So he wrote the song in Arabic and
Mm.
sent it back to me and said, okay, tell me what the story is. When I tell you, I could tell you exactly what the story was about without knowing Arabic. And I said, okay, well, that's okay. That's kind of cool, but we know each other. There's some type of symmetry that's there. You know what I mean? So that's cheat code stuff. Let's
Right.
see who else, let's see who else might pick this up. And literally everybody that we let listen to it, they knew what the story was and didn't speak the language. So
Wow.
for
Mm.
me, that was me going in saying, oh, there's something to this. All right. So I dove a lot deeper into understanding how frequencies and vibrations affect people, and got so deep into it where I know, specifically how to um, basically use certain songs, frequencies, vibrations to affect the molecules in your body, to affect how your brain moves and thinks, to affect how, if you're going to be relaxed or if you're going to be tense, or I know how to do that using certain frequencies now. And so that led me, while I was going through that journey, Janice was introducing Reiki to me,
Reiki.
and I was just like, well, what's that? And so she explained what it was. And I was just like, yeah, nah, I'm good. I'm good. And and it was a couple of months later, she was like, you sure? Because this is what it's doing, and this is what it is, and da 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 da. All right, I'll take the level 1 class. Let me just see what it's about. All right. And so I take the level 1, and I'm like, oh, all right, I see how this is working. Cool. Then I went all the way through to master, and I was like, yeah, I like this. And the thing about Reiki that I enjoy is that it doesn't interfere with whatever your beliefs are. If you have spiritual beliefs, it goes along with, it's a tool to use with whatever it is that you believe. And though, a lot of people that are heavy into their religion, they'll say, well, if it's not this, then it's wrong, and it's evil, and this, blah 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 blah. And I understand, because I came out of that space. I understand the mentality behind it. But what I also know, because I've studied several, just not only the Abrahamic religions, but I've studied some outside of that, I also know that a lot of the practices that are included in Reiki, you already do. You just don't call it the same thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that spawned, Janice had an idea. She was like, look, this is the visual that I see. She literally drew it out on paper and showed it to me. This is what it looks like. And I was like,
I love it.
all right. Okay, that's how we moving. Okay, cool. And she was just like, it's musicians, it's this, it's that, blah 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 blah. I'll have to let her tell you the full story because it's amazing. And so I'm like, okay, well, I'm in. What we gotta do? And then we started working from there, building it from there. And then it got to a point where it was like, people are really being affected by this. We need to branch out and start doing some circles and go virtual and make this bigger thing smaller, like make the bigger presentation into bite-sized pieces, with having these different circles and
Mm-hmm.
explaining and being conduits, so that we can demystify this whole holistic thing. And so that's where our strong our presentation is. So we both are able to explain, okay, what does this mean? Oh, it means this. Instead of keeping it secret or talking around, we're very straightforward. Like, sometimes you'll hear us explaining stuff and we go off, and you might hear us cussing, you might hear us giving personal stories, because to us it's about really making sure that the message is translated, and so that you can really get it, and take
Mm-hmm.
away the mystifying, oh, they're so deep in meditation, and
Yeah.
I'm calling this, and I'm making I'm making this happen, I'm manifesting this. What we do, we say, listen, manifesting is this. Step 1, think it. Step 2, say it. Step 3, do it. What? Oh, the arc of all of manifesting
Mm-hmm.
is, you don't see anything else happening. You don't have any doubt. It's not a belief. It's not a belief, it's a knowing, and that is what manifestation is. And
Mm-hmm.
so a lot of times we say things like that and we teach that way because we don't want people to look at the healing arts as something that's so ritualistic and so something to be afraid of and demonic and things like that.
Yeah.
It's not those things. And if you have that strong religious background, I'm one of those people that, and some people in the chat that will testify to this. I'm the guy when somebody is super religious, especially in the Abrahamic religions, and they are starting to speak against it. I'm the guy that they say, Reese, what would you say about this? And I'm able to use what they believe to point to what the actuality is. So, for example, if they are heavy into the Bible and the Bible is the end all be all, and what you guys are doing is so demonic, I'm able to say, hey, go to the scripture right here. You see the names of those crystals that they're using in the breastplate of righteousness that you said that you think is evil. Why do they have those crystals in that? Oh, what do you think meditation is? So why does it tell you to meditate day and night? If it's oh, so I'm that guy that will pull out scriptures to show them that what they think that we are doing is so demonic is actually a part of what they say that they believe. And it's not coming from a place of pointing fingers, and it's not coming from a place of, hey, you stupid. It's not that. It's more of, hey, listen, bring down your defenses a little bit, just so enough so that you can hear me. If you can defend what you want to say, great, but just hear me. And that's been one of my places in this whole holistic and healing journey. And we have guided meditations that we do. We have our website. I think somebody just posted it up. What
Yeah,
benefit?
they did.
But we have our website.
It's scrolling at the bottom of the screen.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. So we have the website. We have guided meditations that we do both virtually and in person. We have moon meditations that we do. We have the presentations that we do. Like, for example, one of the presentations is called the Soul Light Journey. And what it really does, it takes you through all of your chakras with guided meditation, music, singing, drumming, singing bowls, all at the same time.
Oh wow.
Amazing. And it's really, really heavy. And like a lot of times people get really emotional when we present it because all of those elements all at the same. Oh, and of course Reiki being done all at the same time. A lot of those elements hitting you all at the same time will make emotions rise up in you. You might not understand why you're crying. You just feel like you need to cry. Or you might be sitting there rocking back and forth and you just like, I don't even know what's wrong. Oh my God. Or it might be feeling so good to you, you don't know how to express it. And it's something that we keep teaching, like, don't be afraid of it. It's not anything that you should be afraid of. It's something that you should actually be embracing and
Right.
using a lot more than what we are taught we're supposed to. And
Mhm.
so the Healing Flame Collective that's our family, you know what I mean? And sometimes the members that we have members that come in and some that come out, and they're it's set up in a sense where, oh boy, she brought up the oils. Okay, I'll do
Yeah,
that.
the
I won't forget.
aromatherapy oil.
I won't forget. Okay, I got it. But like a lot of times, the way that we're set up and structured is that there are people that are in our group aura that are attracted, and it's like, okay, well, hey, listen, let's talk about you're interacting with what we're doing. And so sometimes we have people that are come in for this particular presentation, or we have somebody that says, hey, I want to be a part. What can I do? Okay, well, let's have that conversation. Let's see. Because we're very big on energetic connection. If the energy doesn't work, it just doesn't work. It's not hard feelings or anything. And it's not saying that you don't know what you're doing. It's not saying that we don't know what we're doing. It's just the energy has to work. Claire talked about the oil. So I make these fragrance oils for each chakra, and they're hand blended, and they're blended according to what will bring the energy into balance for that particular chakra. And Not only are they hand blended, I have corresponding crystals that go inside of each oil, and I Reiki each oil. And when the report that I keep getting back is when they wear the oils, it's something different really happens. There's a vibration that happens. They are reminded to focus in on that chakra. And so, for an example, if one of the most popular ones is the heart chakra oil that I create. So what happens is, if, say for instance, there are two, let me go into this real quick and then I'm gonna move on. So when you have when we're talking about chakras, to demystify that, it's basically everybody has these energy centers all over your body. All the chakras that we're referring to are the main seven that most people know about. And they go from the bottom to the top, starting with the root, going all the way up to the crown. What happens is sometimes, and I'm gonna use the heart chakra as an example because most people can identify with it very well. So with the heart chakra, you can be in your feelings in a place where you're overly sensitive about everything that's happening, and you have something to say, an opinion about everything that's happening. That is when your chakra is out of balance. You could be on the opposite end of that, where you're like, well, ain't nothing affecting me. I'm stone faced. I'm good. Ain't no, I'm that means your heart chakra is out of balance either way. What happens is, and the oils is one of the ways that you can use to bring that chakra into balance. And so you'll wear the chakra oil, and then next thing you know, it's just like, oh, I'm feeling better. I feel my energetically, I feel this way. For what I do with sound healing, if you came into me with those same exact symptoms, I've been in my feelings and da 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 da. Okay, I have a table here. Lay down. Here's some headphones. I'm gonna play this frequency. This frequency is going to do this, and this, and this. Okay, okay. While you're listening to this frequency, I'm gonna take this tuning fork, which is tuned to this, which is also going to do blah 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 blah, and then I'll administer that. And then by the time you get up off the table, you either felt an effect immediately, or within that day or the next day, you're going to call me back or text me back and say, what, I need another appointment. What was that? That felt great. Okay, I feel more in tune, I feel balanced, but I still feel a little bit off. I need another one. Okay, cool, let's schedule another one. And knowing the science behind sound, knowing the science behind frequency, knowing the science behind vibration allows me to administer sound healing from past a place of, oh, this sounds great. It's way beyond that. All right, I'm good. I'm done.
So, but I do have a question because I don't know much. I don't know much.
I had to take it there.
And one of the and I have two questions. Number one, for those that hear the word Reiki, but have always been like, what is it really? Like you said a lot of things. Could you just put it in a simplified definition of what Reiki is?
Reiki is the devil. I've heard that. I've heard that so much before.
And that's why I want to hear from you.
The easiest way to understand it, the easiest way to understand it is life force energy.
Life force energy.
That's it. Life force energy. Anything that is living has energy flowing through it.
Yes, I believe that too. Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay. So life force energy means every like I said, every living thing has life force energy. The simplest way to understand it is, like, I like to explain things from a scientific perspective because it takes out the mystifying part of it. We all know, we all been taught that energy is not created, and it doesn't dissipate. It just always flows. It goes from one thing to another, always. So example of that, I might have a pebble. If I drop it into a puddle of water, you see the waves go, and they go out, and then they come back in, and then they go out, and it might slow down a little bit, and then it keeps moving, right? That energy came from the thought in my head telling my body to pick that pebble up, to hold it. Then my energy drops it, and then the energy moves the pebble down into the water, and then the energy moves the waves out and back and forth, so forth and so on. So energy never dissipates, it always is moving. So when you have life force energy, all you're talking about, no matter what you title it, you're talking about that entity, that thing that is flowing through anything that's living. That's the simplest way to explain it. If you call it God, if you call it Allah, if you call it universe, it doesn't matter what you call it. The fact of the matter, the grassroots fact of the matter is there is something that has that energy force that is flowing through every living thing. So that's what it is. Reiki is life force energy. Now, the term comes from the Japanese rediscovery of moving that energy, but and I say rediscover because Osui Reiki is the original form of Reiki. However, if you are anybody of our let's say skin tone, uh, our people, we know that we predated all of those things. We are the first and original people. Therefore, the energy existed with us first. So Reiki is not a Japanese thing. It's a Japanese word. It was rediscovered, retitled, redone by Japanese. So what it is that energy, and I'm saying that because like some people are like, well, how are you going to be this dude that likes to wear and you're so African this and Egyptian that and motherland that, but you practicing something that's of Japanese culture and Japanese practice? It's not that, because I know my people is where Japanese got it from. So technically, I'm just relearning what my people taught them. You know what I mean? So it's not that. So but yeah, it's life force energy. When you administer Reiki, you are not giving the energy to somebody. You are helping the energy flow. Like, I'm gonna use church as an example. Anybody been in church before and you have a guest pastor and whoever's introducing them, they say, stretch your hand forth and say this, right?
Yeah.
When the guest pastor about to get up, right? That's a form of Reiki. It's the same exact thing. You're sending a blessing, you're sending good vibes to what's getting ready to happen. And that's the shortest, easiest way that I can kind of, because it's a whole we teach classes on it, so it's a whole thing.
I can understand that, because I'm sure I'm not the only one that's going to listen to this, and and you have other people that heard it but are misinterpreting what it really is, because of the knowledge that's been given by people who really are not as educated about it to be able to speak on it, to articulate things properly, because everything has a place. And because I always tell my girlfriend, you are not in your feminine energy right now. And that's why when you said that, I'm like, oh yeah, I believe in energy.
yeah
I really do.
It's real.
And then, so is next question, this is my last question about this. Saging. What does saging really, like, what is the purpose and what does it really do? Because I hear my bonus daughter is now saging her house, and she just, she has this calm, and I just love it. And I just like understanding, what they're doing and why they're doing it.
So saging, if people never heard that term before, saging is a way of cleansing whatever you're doing. You can sage yourself, you can sage your area, you can sage your crystals. It's basically you're cleansing it. It's the equivalent of I hate to keep going back to church stuff, but that's where most people identify most with. It's the equivalent, or even Catholicism, really. It's the equivalent of you going to the altar and saying, okay, this is my rejuvenation. I'm being forgiving of all of these things that I've done. Blank slate again, right? What saging actually does, it does that for whatever you're using it on. So if you're saying, okay, well, I need to sage my house because the energy in here doesn't feel right, what you're going through your house and you're saging, you should be calling those things out. They do that in churches all the time. So when you're saging, you can be saying mantras, you can be saying chants, you can say it in your head, you can say it out loud. It doesn't matter. But the saging in and of itself is you energetically cleansing whatever that is. If you're cleansing your area, fine. If you're cleansing your crystals so that it can be rejuvenated again and be used again, it doesn't matter what it is that you're doing. It's basically you just like cleansing the energy, cleansing that energy.
Okay, got
Was that clean enough? Does it make sense enough?
No, it was good. It was good. It was good. And I know my husband's gonna be listening to this, and because he says quit. I don't want any kind of energy coming in my house. He says that all the time.
Sage,
yeah, my husband, yep, he will tell people quick, no, you can't come. You cannot come across that threshold. And bring your energy into the house, and that man means it, like because
he's protecting his space. That's fine.
He's protecting his space, and he's like, no, when I come home, I want peace. And if you don't have peace, and you're full of a bunch of chaos and foolishness, then you do not need to come across my threshold, especially if it's a man. So,
I can speak to that.
Honey,
so, real quick, there are people in the chat, and I really hope they chime in on this. So I am extremely big on keeping the energy in my space a certain way. And so those that are in the chat, those that are watching, please put this in there if you've experienced this. I'm telling you what I know. I keep the energy in my living space a certain way, so that way by the time you walk in, even if you walk in and you were feeling a little tense, when you walk through my door, it's dropping. And because I'm very big on protecting my energy that's in my space. I've had hip hop artists that wanted to record with me, and I've given them warnings because I knew what type of hip hop they were doing. I'm not categorizing hip hop as bad. I'm just saying I knew that they were coming in with the shoot 'em up, get it, did et cetera, et cetera. I knew they were coming in with that, and I gave them warning. And I was like, listen, you're not gonna be able to do it in my space. You're not gonna feel it. No, we good. And I was like, I know you're good. I'm not speaking against you and your talent or your experience. I'm just telling you, I know my place. And I was like, you're not going, no, we got you. We're going, all right, let's do it. They come in half an hour later, yo, I can't even, I'm sorry, man. And I'm sitting there like, I told you. I know what the energy is in my place. I know what it is. I'm very protective of it. And so I just wanted Claire raise her hands. Yeah, because my place is set like that on purpose. You know what I mean? And then even going further, I make sure that my aura is that way. When I'm around, I know people from a distance might look at my face and be like, oh, he's not approachable, because I might not necessarily be smiling. But if you know me, first thing you're going to know is that I'm silly. I'm more silly than what I appear to be. That's first. Second is that my aura is that where you're not going to be able to feel a certain way. And my energy is very, 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 very strong. If there's something wrong with me, like a lot of times I can be in another room, I can be in another building. The people that have been around me kind of know, hey, you all right? Because I'm feeling something, because my energy is that big. You know what I mean? But and the opposite is true too. Like when I come around, you might be in a little agitated space. When I come around, before I say anything, part of my energy is going to infiltrate, and it's going to bring the peace, because I'm not having it no other way. I can't afford to be in any other type of environment. It's a non-negotiable for me.
Right.
All right, I'm good.
I love it. No, it's good. That's good.
Antoine done sat back.
He did. He get ready. He get ready to go tell his wife to get some seeds.
No, I did want to ask, because the one thing you mentioned it, but talk a little bit about the bowl.
The singing bowl?
Singing bowl.
Okay. So in my class, my students that are in this chat are going to trip. All right. So with playing the singing bowl, there's some people that play the singing bowl because it sounds nice and it's soothing and it's great. In my class, I teach how to play the singing bowl, what singing bowl to play, when you should play it, and the different ways you can play it. Most people do it wrong. Most people, when you're on Instagram and you're seeing people and they're doing like this, yeah, it's this
Yeah.
frequency. Nah, it's not. No, it's not. It's not that.
Save
And
this sound. That's what they say. Save this sound.
right. And like if you don't know, you don't know,
Right.
and it's crazy. So with the singing bowl, there are different ways that you can play it. Most people don't know that. My students do now, but there are
Right.
different ways that you can play it. And there are improper ways to play it. It's just like anything else. Anybody can go up to a piano and be like, oh, I'm playing these notes, and that doesn't make you a pianist. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean that you're
Right.
playing the piano. It just means that you're triggering the sounds from it. You know what I mean? But that doesn't mean you're skillfully playing it. And so
Right.
I'll give a couple of jewels from my class just so that people understand what I mean. Like for instance, a lot of times you'll see people. I played glass singing bowls. I'm not that great at playing the Tibetan. I have, but it takes a lot of effort for me. So, but there are different types of singing bowls. You have the regular glass, which are the ones that you can kind of see through and they look pretty. You have the frosted glass, which it has like, well, yeah, I don't know what frosted is. You have the frosted glass, and then you have Tibetan bowls. And so when you're playing them, it's the same technique all the way around. So a lot of people play bowls with their wrist, and they play. You see the bowl up, and I use my cup. Sorry, you'll see them playing like this, playing, and they're going around, and they're using their wrist. That's an improper way to play it. That's the same technique that will have you ending up with carpal tunnel and tendonitis. You're supposed to play from your elbow down to your hand. You're supposed to spin with your whole elbow and play it that way. And that also allows you to control the volume of the bowl. And when you listen to a bowl, a lot of times you'll hear the vibration that goes woo, woo, woo. If you play it from your elbow, you can control how loud that is, and you can control the vibration of it. Why is that important? Because vibration is important. We all vibrate. If you're playing it at the wrong vibration, you're doing more of a disservice than you are being helpful.
Right.
And if you don't know the frequency of the bowl that you're playing or the note of the bowl that you're playing, it sounds nice, but depending on what frequency it is housed in, if you're playing, for example, if you're playing a bowl that's in 440 and it's not in 432, you're not doing anything. I know that went over some people's heads, and it's fine.
Yeah, I just want you to know I tilted my head, okay? Just as long as you know that.
So, quick story: all of music used to be tuned to 432, which is the universal frequency of everything. It's the original universal frequency. And not to go into numerology or things like that, but when you do calculations on what vibrates at what frequencies, a lot of them either they fall into the 369. And I know we'll look all of the stuff up after I finish talking, and y'all see what I'm talking about. Everything lines up with the numbers 3, 6, or 9. And then, like, so for instance, when I'm talking about 432 frequency, 4 plus 3 plus 2 is 9. Right? So you take the circumference of a circle, 360 degrees. 3 plus 6 is 9. You take the angles of a square, 90 degrees, divisible by 9. So it goes on and on and on from there. So what happened in music is that we all used to play music at the 432 frequency. In around 1950s, I think it was like around the 1950s, the Rockefellers were influenced by a Nazi minister to change the tuning frequency from 432 to 440. Why does that make a difference? Because 432 is universal. 440 takes us out of being in alignment with the universal frequencies. Well, why does that make a difference? I said before that frequencies directly affect your molecular structure. So if you are constantly listening to music that is out of universal sequence, out of universal frequency, then you're constantly listening to music that's disrupting and harmful to your molecular structure, and therefore you're out of alignment. And you're always out of alignment if you're always listening to music that's in the 440 hertz. So going back to the bowls, if your bowl is not in if it's not tuned to the 432 frequency, It sounds great and it's soothing. That's cool. That's not my concern as a sound healer. My sound healing comes from a perspective of, are we helping you? Is it physically, scientifically helping you? It's great that it sounds good, but I need to make sure that, and it's my responsibility, as if I'm going to label myself a sound healer, is to actually be doing that work. And so that's that's why it's important to know what your the frequency of your bowls and what you're playing and how you're using it is important.
I would have to see that demonstration. That hey, TikTok.
Right, 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 right.
TikToks would be perfect. TikToks would be perfect. Shout out to Sendiva, man. That sister right there, Sendiva. I got to get you up here. It's been a long time since I've had a chance to talk to her. I got to get her up here for a conversation. I got to get her to come do an acapella and acoustic segment. All of that stuff, man. It's been a long time.
For her to share that story, her story. Yeah. Mm.
Yeah.
Yep, there's Vanessa. Okay. Hey, Vanessa.
This is why you know the sound alchemist.
So they nicknamed me that at one of our retreats that Janice and I gave. They said you're a sound alchemist. I think it was either the retreat. No, it wasn't a retreat. It was at the one of the circles that we did. And because I always had trouble describing who I am and what I do, and they said sound alchemist, and I was like, oh, that works. Okay, I understand. Okay,
so that kind of brings everything under that umbrella, so to speak. Of
yeah.
Makes sense, man. So, we're here. This is like the fourth quarter. Actually, shoot, we're about 23 days left in the game now at this point.
Right.
Playing like this month is. I mean, it's not over, but it's 2023. What's on the horizon for Maurice Dorsey?
Maurice Carroll.
I'm looking at Claire as I'm talking. Maurice Carroll. I'm sorry. I didn't give the man the wrong name and everything. I'm literally sitting here looking at Claire's comments as I'm talking. But yes, Maurice Dorsey. I apologize. What's on the horizon for you with this new year?
My plan is to do more collaboration. So I'm finding a new lane with EDM, dance music, influenced music, and I'm really, that's my new lane. I'm loving it. I understand it. I understand the different genres of it. So I'm really looking to do more collaborations and more remixes in that arena, and getting heavier into the sync licensing arena. Because I'm, again, with diversification, I'm looking at, okay, how can I create some residual income? How can I do that with what I already do? And sync licensing is one of those ways where if you keep feeding it, the checks will keep coming, as you land things. So there's a high demand for sync licensing, and so I want to fill that and go with the collaborations. In fact, if you go on my website and you go under music, you'll hear some of the remixes that I've been working on that kind of point to the direction of what I'm doing. And a lot of them are, the majority of them are songs that people know. Two are songs like, if the two that are on the bottom are from artists that are here in Baltimore. One is For Me to Dry Fish, and the other is Lil Day. And those are remixes that I've done for them. For Femi's song, it was the remix for Wahala, and which we talked about the Crown Awards earlier. We won best video for that particular song. And the other song is called Ooh Work It. And for some people, they may know the song because it was on 92. Well, it is on 92Q and DTLR radio, so forth and so on. It's like a two-step, kind of song, and I just turned both of those into dance mixes. Everybody else that's on that list right now, you've heard. Right now, the one that most people have like jumped on was the I did a remix of Faith Evans, Soon As I Get Home, and people were flipping over it. So, but that's on, all of that stuff is free to listen to on my website. A lot of that, if it's somebody that is popular, I'm doing it. That is my, okay, I just want to do something and I'm not looking to make a dollar off of it. I just want to do it, see what people think, and just keep moving. If it's a remix from an artist that I know, chances are it's either we putting it out or it is out, and we're just moving forward with that. So all of next year, I'm gonna be focusing on those two elements, and past that, of course, with the healing stuff, we're gonna do more circles. We're already expanding. We already have some dates booked for next year already with the circles and classes and things like that. So it's already moving. It's already in motion.
Sounds good. Welcome back, sis.
Thank you. Sorry, I don't know what happened.
She ain't want to be here no more.
My energy wasn't right. My internet energy wasn't right, y'all, in the mountains.
Oh, goodness.
That's what it is. You all the way up there.
I'm up there in the mountains.
Your frequency was way
too high.
Off up there.
Too high, y'all. Too high.
Too funny. Bro, for like anyone that wants to contact you about anything music wise, for those that are interested in the workshops that you're doing with the healing and all of that kind of stuff, man, let everyone know how they can reach you.
Yeah, it's very easy. And this is something that I do in my consultations on the music side. Keep everything simple. So my website, mauricecarroll.net. Social media on IG is Maurice L. Carroll. On YouTube, Maurice L. Carroll. On TikTok, Maurice Carroll. You know what I mean? So I kept it simple. As you don't have to guess. There's no underscores and no hidden names and nothing like that. It's straightforward. I follow the McDonald's mentality with that. Keep everything simple. Keep everything uniform. You're gonna remember. You're gonna see same avatar, same name everywhere. You can find me.
Right.
On the healing arts side, you can find me and find us at The Healing Flame Collective. That's at .com. That is at IG. That is on YouTube. Same exact thing. Keep everything uniform. If you remember the name, you're going to find us.
Yeah. Anything else, Selenia, before we let him get out of here?
That was good. No, thank you for answering my question. I'm sure there's someone else on the replay is going to ask the same question I did. So I'm good. I am good. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes, you did make this interview so easy.
So at one point I was just sitting back you did? I was like,
is he in therapy?
But soaking all
yeah, you look like my clients. My clients do that. They sit back in the chair. I'm like, well, why am I up on the screen like this then?
That's when you know it's good. That's when you know that the information that's coming across.
Yeah, that they got something. They got it. Yep, they got it.
Yeah. Bro, I definitely appreciate you, man. Bro, it's fun as always, man. Congratulations on the award. Congratulations on all that you've done, man.
Yeah.
And I feel like you're still probably just scratching the surface on a lot of stuff, man. So, around this time next year, we might have to bring you back up to see, some of the other stuff that you've done and all that kind of stuff, man. But it's always a pleasure, bro. Always a pleasure, man. I'm gonna get my mac and cheese one of these years, whether it's from you, Janice, or somebody. But I definitely want to talk to you some more about what we had talked about earlier with the project that you're doing. And I'm going to see if I can talk my wife into coming out and being open-minded with one of these workshops, because I definitely want to sit in on one just to get the experience.
Okay.
I keep saying to myself, if I go to a workshop, I feel like I'm going to be floating out of the joint like this. Just floating out, mind totally.
Maurice, just sage him when he comes in the door, okay?
Dang, partner, that's how you doing me? That's how you doing me, partner? Jeez. Yeah, man, but definitely appreciate you, bro, man. Best of holidays for you, all of that good stuff. Happy New Year in advance, man. I know 2023 is going to be amazing for you, bro. And anytime you need me for whatever, man, I'm always here, bro. Appreciate you much.
Hey, I appreciate you all so much. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome, Maurice. Thank you.
Are you in the studio, by the way?
Right, like right now?
Yeah, like
yes.
Are you broadcasting the studio? I thought so.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask you to do like a little pan job so we could see the magic, where the magic happens.
I mean, you can't.
That's where the music magic happens, y'all. That's where it happens, right?
Yeah.
There. He's available for everything. But yeah, man, appreciate you, bro. Thank you so much, man. The best of luck in everything, man, in your future endeavors, bro.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Maurice.
Shout out to Claire Dorsey. Shout out to who was the other one that I wanted to
it was several people on.
Oh, it was somebody in particular though. Mahogany.
Yeah.
Shout out to you too. I've reached out to you guys on social media, so please get back to me because I would love to have you up here. And of course, shout out to my sis Sandiva. I've already inboxed you, so you better return my message. Don't make me come hunt you down because I'll come and get you. I'll come and get you.
Like I said, we need to stage him.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I think I still might have a piece somewhere in the back of the basement.
You're just too aggressive with everybody. You better.
Sometimes you gotta
you gotta do that.
Nah, but appreciate you, man. Have a good one, bro.
Thank you.
All right, you too. Peace.
Absolutely, my man. Maurice Carroll. In the hell, this is my guy right there, man. And if you notice the one thing, like that's his demeanor
all the time.
He might be at the Ravens games like that, I'm that guy that's ready to run down on the field because Greg Roman keeps calling the wrong plays, and I want to just go. Maurice is like, yeah, just come on, man.
Good deal.
He was probably watching the game yesterday, saying, "Don't worry about it. They're going to score at the end. Don't worry about it." He was like,
well, that's because his energy is there. That's where he's at.
Yeah, I pray for the day that I'm able to keep just my total energy. You know what I mean? At that level. There. But yeah, definitely a great guy. Glad we had a chance to get him up here.
Very nice.
He was supposed to be here 2 weeks ago, and of course I had to postpone. And I wasn't going to make him wait until next year, man, because I definitely wanted to talk to him. So appreciate that guy, man. With that being said, this is the final show of 2022. I'm so glad we had this time together. It's been an amazing year. It's been an amazing year. What I am going to do for the rest of this month is I'm going to post old shows, previous shows. I hate calling them old because they're not old. I'm going to post previous shows. I may do multiple shows per week just to flood the timelines. I'm also going to be posting multiple segments of acapellas and acoustics. So yeah, be on the lookout because I'm going to get on y'all nerves for the next 3 weeks. Just to stay in your face while we're not here. And yeah, that's about it, man. I'm looking forward to and I mentioned it earlier. I said that the calendar for January is actually full. Like I said, on January the 2nd, I know we have inspirational singer Jade. January the 9th, we have Lee Michaels from Heaven 600. January the 16th, we have my sister Poetless Shakespeare. And on January the 30th, my man DJ Casper Bernstein will be in the building. I'm definitely looking forward to getting that brother up here. So the month of January is getting us off to an amazing start. I'm looking forward to chopping it up with all of them. And everything that the Joy Nook Book Club has to offer for the new year. And your podcast and all of that stuff, man. I'm looking forward. It's going to be an amazing year for you. I know.
That it is.
Yeah, this has been great, man. 2022 has been all right.
It has good ending. I think what Maurice was talking about was actually necessary in all aspects, not just in the music industry, but exactly. Artists all around. I think this was a good conversation to end out the year, to prepare your thoughts in your mind for 2023 and just understanding, because he even said it, diversification, keeping things simple. Everything pertains to all of what we're doing, and just making sure you're doing those things in small increments. Don't overwhelm yourself because then you won't accomplish your goal. Small increments lead to huge results.
And I will be on TikTok more in 2023.
Make the plan. Make the plan. Make the plan.
Knock on sheetrock. Sheetrock. So, to all of our viewers, man, thanks everybody for tuning in today. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, and anything else that you celebrate this time of year.
Happy
and definitely
Kwanzaa.
Happy Kwanzaa, yes, and all of that stuff. And definitely Happy New Year, man.
Yes.
May 2023 be the best year of your life, honestly, man. From Access Granted.
All right.
Anything else, sis?
No, like I said, just head on over to Alenia Renee on YouTube to keep up with everything that I am doing, and also you can just follow me on Facebook as well.
And she be flooding that YouTube channel, y'all. So pay attention because it's a lot. She be dropping.
I got a lot on it. Sister getting views.
I know that's right. Oh, and special just shout out to my pastor and my first lady, Reverend Phil and Jackie Miller. I love those guys to life.
Yes, they're good people.
Oh, and again, see, and I only had one cup. The signature Long Island iced tea.
You need to call it catch you in the back of your throat.
But it wasn't even the Long Island that did that. That was just, I don't know if that was me trying to swallow or something. But again, the Long Island iced tea is available. This is a small 12-ounce bottle that's available for $30, and then we have the 2-gallon bottles for $80. Just go to www.tipseen.com and go to the shop link, and you'll scroll down and you'll see this label, and you can choose from either the dirty Long Island or the green light, which is basically a melon.
Yep, that's what she said. It was melon.
It's melon.
It's melon. Bring in the new year with something new.
Oh, bring in the new year with something new.
Look at me. Take it as a slogan.
I love you, sis. Hey, give your daughter a hug for me, man. I'm so proud of everything that she's doing.
I will. Definitely will.
And her young adult teen life that she's doing and everything.
Oh, my gracious. Yeah.
All right, man. We are out of here. We will see you guys next year. Literally. In Baltimore. Put the guns down, man. I'm going to leave it on.
Please.
We love you guys. We're out. Peace.
All right.